regardless of how you look at it, Micah Parsons saying all of the right things. And I agree with Micah Parsons. He's stating here that he wants this Cowboys team to be more aggressive. I don't want to sit back and just watch other people build and build and build and build, and we stay the same. So we definitely need to have a call to action. And speaking of all of that, ladies and gentlemen, I agree 1,000,000%. If the Cowboys really want to get things done and be that team, you got to dance around in free agency. You got to play around with it. You got to get it out of the mud the best way possible. And this was reported, of course, yesterday. I just want to say this, too. You know, he did say contracts with the Joneses. It's not completed yet. They haven't reached out to each other. And this is one of the elements, whereas we would know everything about the Dallas Cowboys front office. If they can't get a deal done before the draft, then they shopping Parsons. It's just for what it is, unfortunately. For those who out there say, hey, Law, let's not get rid of a generational talent guy. But the sense of urgency should be on the Cowboys. You should be able to smell it, see it, feel it, and all of those things. If the Dallas Cowboys are really about their business, they would not drag this out. In order for us to get things done, the Dallas Cowboys must, M-U-S-T, get out there and dance around in free agency. And Micah Parsons knows this, right? And he said the contract extensions, they haven't been in communications, which is a very alarming thing. But if the Cowboys want to get out of the mud, they got to change up their ways. They got to get out of their comfortable, comfy chairs and make sure that they roll their sleeves up and get these contracts done financially, but also get the sweat equity out of working to make sure that you got quality free agent guys. And no offense to my guy James Washington or Eric Kendricks, but that's not enough to move the needle. We need needle stuff to be moved around in order for us to get to the places we want to go. The definition of insanity is what we've been doing for 30 years, 30 seasons. If the Cowboys want that person to stand tall with it, it got to go back to this old philosophy that I said yesterday on my show. The Cowboys got to get out of their way, and on top of that, they got to understand that these guys continue to build around them. You may not win. That's the thing. You may not win every year. But if you competing, and if you continue, if you build around these guys right here, and I'm telling you guys, the three kings, the Dallas Three Kings, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons, if you build around those three kings right there, everything will work its way out. You just got to have that mindset and that attitude to do that. And the Cowboys, here's the other thing that I want to tell you guys. We will see it a mile away before it happens. Law, what are you saying? What do you mean, dog? What's going on? Well, here's how you will be able to see it. We are negative $2.8 or $2.9 million. Basically, we over the cap $2.8, $2.9 million. We got to restructure some contracts. The moment they do that, then I'm going to be like this, yeah, the Cowboys serious, right? The moment they stretch and pull some of those contracts together to get more and more money and more resources, then I'm going to be like this, yeah, we finally seeing the light. But if they hold us and they have our feet to the fire with this, and they are not willing to go out there to readjust and stretch upon these contracts, it's going to be more of the same. It doesn't matter who we have coaching. It doesn't matter who we play or what strength of schedule. It doesn't even matter, even if we start to win next season in the regular season. You can't win this way, Dallas Cowboys front office, Jerry and Stephen Jones. You can't win. Jerry and Son, you can't win this way. Because what will happen is when you get to the postseason, everything condensed. That's when the iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel type of groove get into effects and to get into play. And the diminishing rates of return will be bestowed upon you. The war of attrition, the war of knowledge, the war of wisdom, all will be the laws that you will have to abide by. And no one is above the law. You got to operate because the historical data supports what I'm saying, and there's no room for debates on this. The last 15 teams to win the Super Bowl, they either did something in free agency, some type of acquisition as it relates to a trade. No team is going to win the Super Bowl organically from people from the house or draft only or UFL boys, undrafted boys. No. You got to make sure that you surround your players with other greats. There's not a team, even from a basketball aspect of it. Jordan wasn't on that team by himself. Magic wasn't on that team by himself. You need other star players. You do. And to be 1,000 thou wow with y'all, the same vicious hate that is spread upon for the quarterback number 4 is equivalent now is about to happen for number 11. There's a lot of people who can't stand Micah Parsons, and they want him gone because of the lack of success, regardless of the podcast, but the lack of success we had in the postseason. And we have the inability to build around him. We already know when you have a dynamic edge rusher, a guy that can play linebacker, hook the sideline, cover every blade of grass. What else do they need? They need big boys down inside. They need safeties that can hit and field. And if they play in fourth side, they come down and field, right? If they roaming, if they play in the deeper thirds, if you a DB, if you got to have those things to be able to when that ball hit those phalanges, you come back with it. But somehow, some way, we got comfortable, and there's no growth in comfort. Hey, Law, I want 6-packs. I want all of the muscles. Well, you can't get it eating ice cream sitting on the couch. You got to put the work in. And the Dallas Cowboys are so comfortable that no one gets fired. No one gets released as relates to the front office, the coaching staff that it is. That's why when people say, oh, man, Will McClay is the GM, bull sugar. In the hearts of hearts, he's the ultimate Uber driver or the Uber Eats guy. Because Jerry and Stephen Jones, they put in the menu, they say, hey, order this, order that, and he go drive and go get that. But he have no autonomy to fire anybody. He have no autonomy to fire any coach. He have no control of really who's out there on the field or play. He don't. And that's not up for debate. So the Cowboys got to change what they're doing. As above, so below. So that's why it trickles down to the bottom surface level. But if this team is really about that business, they'll be sure to add weapons around them. And I don't want to hear, yeah, Law, he do have weapons. Aaron Donald, one of the most fierce defensive players we know, he still needed help. They had to go get Von Miller. They had to go get Leonard Floyd. They had to get one point in time a Sue. And if Aaron Donald, who is one of the most feared defensive players that we've seen in the last 10 to 15 years, if he needed help, they had to go get Jalen Ramsey. That was a loaded team. So if Aaron Donald need that, what the hell do you guys think Micah Parsons need? Who want to try to debate me on that? You lost already. It takes a team, even when you have talent. And the Dallas Cowboys, they've been so high and mighty on, yeah, we get this one player that can show you some stuff, right? And that's it. We're supposed to win with that. No, you got to will and deal, and you got to enjoy the thrill when you do it as well. Cowboy Nation, post me your thoughts. Post me your concerns about this. But if the Cowboys really about that life, they'll make sure that they do it right and get more and more weapons, more and more resources for Parsons, and stop complaining about the money. Come on with it. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. DC for life, not for short. Let's get it. Peace.